Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, March 6th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, go to Catex TV. A freight train loaded with crude oil derailed in northern Illinois yesterday. It burst into flames. It prompted officials to suggest that everyone within a 1-mile radius of the derailment evacuate. The Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway line train derailed at about 1:05 p.m. in a rural area near where the Galena River meets the Mississippi River. The area is a popular tourist destination. It's the birthplace and home of former American President Ulysses S. Grant. Firefighters indicated that apparently 6 tankers had left the track, 2 of which burst into flames. The fire was so hot that firefighters had decided to let the blaze burn out overnight. As of this morning, it is still smoldering. Sompo, Japan, is to buy a 7.8% stake of Scor insurance in Paris. They're buying a stake owned by Catex AG. Catex has owned part of Scor for a number of years. They're paying about $500 million for that stake. Sompo said that it hopes to increase its stake in Scor to at least 15%. Scor's reaction earlier today to this was relatively cool. It noted that it was not a party to the transaction, and it appeared to state that it was informed of the deal, signing only after it had taken place. Scor said that it was, quote, an independent company. It welcomed Sompo as a long-term shareholder. It would have the same rights and duties as all of its shareholders. If Sompo's stake does reach 15%, it would be entitled to nominate a member to the Scor board. Scor's stock was up by about 2% in early trading to just over 30 euros a share. Keep in mind that in the early 2000s, before Dennis Kessler came, Scor was a financial basket case. The share price has declined to a little over 2 euros a share. Since then, the reinsurer has recovered strongly to be a very significant player in the global reinsurance industry. Scor said that Sompo's move did not change its strategy. It has no impact on the strategic development of Scor, which actively continues to implement its strategic plan, or on its corporate governance or management. My take on this is that this is a tremendous affirmation of the work that Mr. Kessler and his team have done at Scor over the past decade. Sompo is a conservative company. It would not be buying in unless they saw a profit opportunity here. Yesterday at LaGuardia Airport in New York City, a Delta MD-88 jet coming in for landing from Atlanta skidded off runway 13 and nearly went into Flushing Bay. The plane literally stopped just feet short of the water. The plane was evacuated without any injuries, minor injuries only. As of this morning, the plane had been removed from the runway. LaGuardia was closed down for about 3 hours after the flight. There was a major winter storm in the New York area yesterday. Also yesterday at about 4 p.m. California time, the actor Harrison Ford, after taking off from the Santa Monica airport in a very small World War II era plane, he was piloting it. The 72-year-old actor lost engine power shortly after takeoff and had to make an emergency landing on a golf course in Venice, California. The plane was relatively damaged. However, Mr. Ford did sustain some injuries. He underwent a 4-hour operation to repair a broken ankle and a broken pelvis. Other than that, he's expected to make a full recovery. However, he's not going to be making any films for a number of months. Aon Benfield is saying that insured losses in the United States from the severe winter weather during the month of February are likely to exceed $1 billion. They said that economic losses in Massachusetts alone are expected to exceed $265 million, based on preliminary estimates from state and local governments, businesses, and insurance industry experts. Aon Benfield says that the aggregated economic losses during February throughout the U.S. would be in the low-digit billions of dollars. In Jerusalem earlier today, a driver rammed his car into pedestrians, injuring several people until he was shot and wounded by police. The incident took place outside an Israeli border station on an area occupied by the Israelis in East Jerusalem. The Israeli government is describing it as a terror attack. And in China, at least 2 assailants armed with knives attacked people at random at a train station in southern China, injuring 9 of them. Officers fatally shot 1 suspect. Another suspect was captured in the city of Guangzhou. The incident is still under investigation. Social media photos showed the attack took place in a square outside the police station. One video showed a man hacking people with a cleaver. China has suffered a spate of knife attacks on school children in particular, being carried out by people lashing out over personal problems. And in India, the world's largest democracy, in a city named Dimapur, a city of 380,000 people, a mob of thousands attacked a high-security prison and dragged out a Bangladeshi immigrant who was a suspect in a rape case, paraded him naked through the streets for some distance, and then beat him to death. Police chose not to fire on the mob because apparently in the mob of thousands there were a number of school children dressed in uniforms. An investigation is now underway as to how the mob penetrated the high-security prison and why the police did nothing to protect the rights of the prisoner who had not yet undergone the judicial process. That's the news for today. Everybody, breaking news will come back and tell you. Thank you for watching and have a good weekend.